This is how to start a business if you have no idea where to start. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 key steps to getting you going and starting a business. More importantly, your business. The business that you should start is within you. We just have to ask the right questions and figure out together how to start. Step 1, you need to start with your why. I think too many people skip over this step. They don't really think about why they want to start a business. They just want to start a business.
The Fundamentals of Business by Michael Scott. Over 1 billion sold. More than the Bible. I'm not surprised.
And I think it can be a complete mistake because when you start a business, you're going to invest a ton of time, energy, money, capital.
Investment stuff.
It's going to be full of challenges and everyday commitments far and beyond what the average person is willing to commit. So when you start your business, if you don't have a good enough why, or you don't even know what your why is, the likelihood of you getting through all the hard times or overcoming challenges and barriers is super unlikely. If your why is to make a lot of money, you're not making a lot of money, you could find yourself in pretty rough shape.
There's my money.
So before you start anything, you need to understand why you want to start the business. You're gonna commit a ton of time, resources, energy, money, the whole bit, everything. You've got to at least know why. There's no wrong answer. There's a lot of ways to make money out there that don't involve starting a business. If you said you want to buy a Ferrari, you might get there a lot faster, quite frankly, if you get a sales job and just work really hard at growing up in that.
I'm Jim Halpert from sales.
Some people have much deeper, further out visions. I want to start a business because I want to create a legacy, or I want my kids to have a piece of this business or to benefit from this business 150 years from now when I'm long gone.
Oh, yeah?
Dad.
Those whys drive us further and past our limits or our personal limits, and I think really is the core energy of what any great business stands for. I saw a video recently about Elon, basically the robots that he's creating, they're going to be his workforce on Mars. The electric vehicles are going to be basically the vehicles that transport goods to and from one side of Mars to the other. You know, the rocket ship, the rocket company SpaceX is essentially getting him to Mars. There's all these different businesses that he created that really come back to a core why of expanding, the universe, which is a huge why. Not all of our whys have to be that big. You should never feel pressured to say the wrong why. It's your why. Write it on a piece of paper. Why? This is why I want to start a business. Understand it. So step 2 is you need to find an idea that comes from you. Coming up with an idea is no more complex than finding a passion and building it into something that you think other people would see value in. It's crazy now how many ideas are pushed into people's laps every single day, and they get fixated on this business or that business, or I can make a bunch of money doing that, or this and that and the other thing.
This is BS. This is BS. Why are we here?
It's tiring. It's exhausting. The grass is not always greener on the other side. There's so many situations where the grass is in fact not greener on the other side, and where everything is kind of fabricated. People are telling you a story. They're giving you what they want you to hear, see, or get views. That's why they're doing what they're doing. So your why has to come from within. Getting through the hard stuff in business almost always comes down to loving what you do. If you're someone who loves to cook, the odds of you excelling and exceeding at being a chef are wildly higher than someone who doesn't.
Is there a problem?
She hates cooking.
There's nothing wrong with trying and failing, but I think early on, if you know your why and you establish an idea that is built on something you're either passionate at, skilled at, or you just like to do, or you like topic-wise, then odds are your passion and your why are going to carry you a lot further than 99% of other entrepreneurs, people that start businesses. You can make a business out of anything, literally anything. Look around your house, look around the place you live, look around the school you're in, look around wherever, it doesn't matter. You'll find a business nearly in everything. If you like scuba diving and that's a passion of yours, there are like 50 different business ideas around scuba diving. Who'd have thought? You could literally go to the bottom of ships, scrape barnacles off, and make $200,000 a year. I've seen this. The whole idea of your idea has to come from something you're passionate about. And know that if you have to do it every day for a long period of time, you have to be able to enjoy it. If you feel like the idea phase is still tripping you up, put a comment down in the video if you watch this. Let's try to talk about how to actually formulate the idea, because it sounds simple, but oftentimes it's not. The third step is building a simple, obvious business model. I know it sounds kind of like boring or simple. I don't even know how it sounds, honestly, but to me it sounds kind of boring. I think it always did. But here's the deal. A business model is nothing more than your estimation as to how you're going to make money. before you ever start a business, let's just use a lemonade stand as an example. You can figure out basically how you're going to make money. Let's say the perceived value of 1 cup of lemonade is $2. The amount of sugar you need to make that lemonade, let's just say, is 20 cents. So you have $2. You are going to deduct the 20 cents out. That's your cost of goods. Let's just say the labor to make the lemonade is 50 cents. So now you're at 70 cents and you're selling your lemonade for $2. But then you have to pay to be able to have your lemonade stand on a street corner. Maybe that costs you 30 cents. Now you're at $1. And the last and final cost, customer acquisition cost, that's a big term. It's how much it costs to get a customer to buy your product, whatever, or service, whatever you're selling.
You buying this?
Maybe you have to run some advertising to get people to know that your lemonade stand is there. That cost per acquisition, you have to try to come up with. So you estimate your cost of goods will be 20 cents, you estimate your labor will be 50 cents, and you estimate your rent for your lemonade stand will be 30 cents per cup. That's $1. Here's the trick, and this is why you see so many influencers today coming out with businesses of their own, because they don't really have to pay for someone to see their product. But getting exposure on your product can be expensive if you don't do it through free means. That's why almost every business owner now in today's age has to consider social media. Because if you can find a way to market your lemonade stand and pay $0 to get your customers to come find you or see you or find out about you, your model is going to be far more successful. But it's really not that easy to do. In fact, it's really hard. It's not that it's hard conceptually, it's hard to be consistent. It's hard to find out what people want to see or how they want to see it in your product on display. But some people, when they commit themselves to this and they figure it out, that customer acquisition cost can be nothing. Like Mr. Beast's customer acquisition cost is him. It's just him. But so building a model is actually really easy. You can boil it down to the nuts and bolts, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. You're just adding and subtracting one thing or another based on how much you think it's going to cost per item that you sell. And each business is different. In a landscaping business, it will look different than, say, a consumer products company. It's all different, but the numbers are still very simple. You can break them down really easily. And if you want me to go through that with you guys, or you have a business idea that you want to pursue and you want to build the business model around it, put a comment below or DM me on any of my social medias. I'm happy to go through this stuff. I understand this is a YouTube video, but at the end of the day, I'm really looking to help people. These are fundamental things that, I wish I knew or that someone told me when I was starting my business out of college. In mature businesses today that my family and I run, we still constantly are trying to figure these things out. If you go out and you buy a farm, you go, well, why do I buy that farm? What's my idea around it? What is the business? And then you think about it and you're like, well, what is the business model? How am I going to make this make money? And so no matter how big you get or no matter how successful you are, these are questions that you're going to be asking for the rest of your life if you decide to go down the route of entrepreneurship. My one last and final comment is I really ward you against starting a business if you're not passionate about it, because it really is way harder than I ever thought it would be. And mainly because honestly, it's all the stuff that you can't control. There's a lot of things to think about, and we can cover that in more videos. But for now, I think just starting with the basic fundamentals, if you can answer those 3 things, you're 70 or 80% of the way there of knowing what business you want to pursue and why. These are basic questions that are hard to answer for anybody. If you're someone that's looking to start a business, I run 8 businesses here with my family in Rhode Island, and I've got a lot of unique experience to share with the world. So I'm hopeful that I can help you and others. And if you enjoyed the video or you want to watch more or learn more, definitely consider subscribing. My goal is to make a video a week. So here we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.